Greetings and salutations, my fellow crackers. I just made a video, and if you don't subscribe to compensate me for my hard work, you're a bum. Alrighty, so, a couple of my friends wanted me to do this, so, Rise of Nations, complete tutorial. I'll teach you pretty much every single aspect about the game, just in general, the whole game. So, just for the sake of this video, I'll play the US. Alrighty, so, a couple of my friends want... And also because I just feel like it. So, pretty much, everyone spawns in with... Oh, good lord. Everyone spawns in with, $100 million. This is because I was in the server like a minute or two, and yeah, but yeah. So, sometimes things pop up, and you can choose what you want to do. Since I've just a ton of I do not have $1 billion, so I will hold a modest parade. And see, what that just did is that it gave me stability. So what stability does... But, oh, what is this? Wow, that's great. Yeah, anyways, what stability does is that pretty much you can do different things to bring stability up and down, and yeah, but stability, it gives you a bunch of increases, such as you see down there, the tax income, manpower increase, unrest. Tax is how much money you get, of course, that's just great. Unrest reduction is how much the AI people in your country want to separate themselves from you. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's kind of it. So, that's what that does. Political power lets you do a ton of things. With political power, you can change your laws, such as war bonds, population, things like this, It does that, and it can also let you get policies, which can give you upgrades, and some policies you can only do due to certain things, such as this one takes fertilizer, this one takes aircraft parts, etc. War exhaustion, it just ruins your country. That's it, you're done. If you have too much war exhaustion, your country's done for. That's what really makes every single thing just separate from your country. And finally, corruption is also bad, I guess. Yeah, just it can also ruin a ton of things. But yeah, the worst thing that you really want to keep in check if you're going out and conquering other places, war exhaustion. So, now that that's done with, pretty much one of the most important aspects of the game is technology. So what technology can do is that you research different things that can upgrade pretty much everything. Economic improvements lets you make more money, make more resources. Infantry improvements improves your infantry, tank, naval support for like artillery and anti-air stuff. You know what I mean. Then economic, yeah, money, aerials for planes. Research is to actually gain more research power that lets you research things. And you can even make nukes. Then there's political, that helps your stability, your integration, and your political power gain. So I'll pretty much show you what integration is. Right? Actually, no. First, I'll show some more stuff. Now, if you look in leaders, you can recruit leaders that do many different things. So, you can also, if you're not satisfied with the candidates that you are able to recruit, you can shuffle your candidates, which does cost you political power, unfortunately, but you can get different things like Marshal of the Air Force, upgrades your planes, political reformer, gets you more political power. I'm gonna get that right now. Ideologies. As the US, I start out as a democracy, which pretty much just makes you stay as one specific nation and makes it extremely hard to conquer others. And if you go to any others, the US, it gives you a bunch of, downgrades. Then there's factions. I hate factions, personally, but you can make factions, which is kind of like a group of countries that can work together. Modifiers, if you somehow get modifiers, then it modifies your country. Rankings is, pretty much, it's based off of your stability, your economy, and your population. So yeah. And oh right, I taught you about research, but I'm just gonna get some research improvements real quick. And actually, what you can do is if you double right click, you can auto search some things and you don't have to worry about that. Oh, and see, there's another one of these, and this will not be good for me. Because it gives me corruption, which, as I showed you, would ruin my country. So, next, I guess I'll show you formables. Formables are things you can form by conquering other countries and not being at war, and you have to not be some other things. After that, I'll go to diplomacy. There you can release your countries and just look at other countries and what they're doing. You can also look at your own population. And then economy. So economy is extremely important. Economic laws can make or break your country. Pretty much, if you spend too much on some things, or not enough on some things, it can ruin your country. If you get nuked, which usually doesn't happen for beginner players, then put your reconstruction spending all the way up so that it can pretty much reduce the scorching in those cities. Research spending, get your research up. Healthcare spending upgrades your population and does some other stuff, that's great. Anti-corruption, reduces corruption. Education, upgrades research and a bunch of other things. Security is also great because it pretty much makes your country have less unrest. Government spending has more stability and more political power, and military upgrades your military. And here on economic laws, for your taxation spending, you can also put your taxation how you want it, which can put your stability at a horrible situation or make it just plain out great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But all of this costs money. All of these spending settings cost money. Unless you have no military at all and this is all the way up, or no scorching all the way up and this is all up. As you can see, it says estimated cost 0. So yep. Then resources. If you want to secure yourself a great economy, resources and pretty much civilian factors too, this can really boost your economy like crazy. So resources, actually what you can do is select cities that actually make those resources, yeah. But, ooh, uranium, I forgot about that. Yeah, uranium you can make nukes with, but that I'll explain all the way later. So, you can also trade with other countries. Now, some things you cannot trade because they are made by factories, and some countries might not have factories yet, but you can also make your own factories with resources, and resources you can buy from other countries to make those factories, which is really great, and you can also sell resources. And city overview, you can just look at all of your cities and see your best ones. See, New York is my best one, LA is next, and Chicago, Miami, Dallas, Philadelphia, Houston, Washington, etc. New York, obviously goated, because like East Side is just better, but yeah, we'll not get into that yet. So, I'm done with that. Technology, I pretty much went over. Military. So if you're planning on invading a bunch of places, stuff like that, see, just made auto research. That's a W right there. So what you can do for doctrines changes what your army can do, how good they are in certain ways, and yeah. So mass production for aerial upgrades lets you pretty much just make a bunch more planes. Special training upgrades a ton a specific kind of plane. For example, I usually do strategic bombing because I usually use bombers more. Then naval, light florilla is for smaller and no, what's that called? Well, yeah, navies. Then Grand Fleet is for like really important ones, for like battleships and aircraft carriers, which can be useful. And then submarine warfare. I love submarines because the other countries can't see them. So submarine warfare is usually what I go for. Then land doctrine is great for artillery, tanks, anti-air, and, infantry. So static lines upgrades your defense. Massed attacks just lets you, it lowers how good your infantry is, but it lets you make a lot more of it. Specialization is where they can go, where they're better in. For example, there's arid, winter, mountain, and jungle, which are all in this game. Maneuver is for just attack mostly, not really like massed attacking a lot, but maneuver warfare upgrades your ground troops, but like it gives them an upgrade, but reduces your defense a bit, and also yeah, but it doesn't let you make more infantry, and can also make your war exhaustion higher. Ooh, gotta check this. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I'm not gonna do that because that makes me gain corruption. So now, funnest part of the game, obviously, attacking other countries. So the way you do that is that you just go in your country, on another country, you can press on one of their cities and press on the flag that's over here. So you press that, press justify war goal, and if you want to make a country your puppet, you can press subjugate if you want to free other countries from them, liberation, and if you just want them, conquest, which is what I want, and I also want Mexico to form the North American Union, and but the thing is, my justification takes a ton more time because I'm democratic, and my country is made for just having an internal economy and not really invading other countries. But that's fine. So as the US, I spawn in with a ton more troops, but for other countries, you might need to make more troops. Now the way you do that, you can either select a bunch of cities by holding, if you're on laptop or PC, you hold down control and drag over it with your mouse, and you select a ton of cities, you press units and infantry, or if you want it in one specific city, you can press on that city and press that a bunch of times. There's a bunch of different things, all of these, planes, and even nukes, which I will explain later, as I said before. Ooh, another thing. Ooh, of course I want a good researcher. That did take half of my money, though. Alright, so, there's that. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and make a ton of troops. Bam. So, another thing, troops do cost money. And it also, costs money. Oh, new ruler timer, that I'll explain right now. New ruler timer allows you to do some things like scorch cities, seed cities, release different countries, and there are things called releasables. For example, it's little countries in countries, big countries, like California, Texas, Confederate States of America, and New England. Oh, there's also a Deseret somewhere around here. Deseret and Azultan. Azultan, where's Azultan? Maybe over here. Yeah, then Azultan, which is all of the ones for the US, which can also release themselves if your unrest and war exhaustion is too high. Yeah, there's that. If you want to select all of your troops, you just drag over it all, don't press anything else, and if you want them all to go to one place, well then just, yeah, press on one place. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to have it all attack Canada. Just like this. So then you have to press on this, press declare war, and, oh no, my corruption is rising, which is probably, oh no, that's just for my stability, never mind. So then, what you can do with troops, you can either send them to one city after you've already declared war, or you can auto-capture and capture that. Another thing is you can also press form line if you, I'll explain that later, never mind. For now, I'm just going to auto-capture Canada and wait for that to go. I'm going to start putting my corruption spending up so that my corruption starts going down. Which, I don't know, is this working? Yes, it is. As I was explaining, manpower. So to make any kind of troops, even nukes is barely anything though, it takes manpower. The way that you get manpower, pretty much, it just gives you manpower from every city automatically. But a way you can upgrade your manpower is by making in your cities recruitment centers. Pretty much what that does is that, well, it just increases your manpower gain. Why didn't you get Montreal? Get Montreal. Come on now. Good boy. Sorry about that. Edmonton? Never heard of that. Calgary I have, but I've never heard of Edmonton. Interesting. Alright, we're getting Canada's best city. I mean, biggest. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Canada. So yeah, that's what you can do. Other things you can build on cities. You can develop the city, which gets your manpower and tax gain too. Fortifications, which means that, well, you have to make it with steel, and you have to pay a certain amount every couple of days. But, ooh, wait a minute, I also do want Saint-Pierre and Nicolas. and Bermuda. Bam. There we go. So, what I was going to say is... Ooh, I low-key want to move my capital to New Yorkville, but I'll do that later. Because, I mean, New York is just goated, you know what I mean? The capital of the U.S. used to be New York, but then these Southerners wanted it to be more in the South, so we made it in Washington instead of the beautiful, ugly, disgusting city of New York. I'm sorry about that, New York. You know what? The best city is Denver, like low-key. I'm East Coast, but like Denver is just goated. So yeah. As I was saying, you can build different things, fortifications. It makes it harder to capture that city, and especially if you have troops on those cities. Airports makes you build planes, lets your planes refuel there, and also gets your tax income higher. Infrastructure makes your... Oh man, why? They're not nice. I want to keep Cascadia. See, that's what I've been saying, bro. Unrest and war exhaustion can ruin you, man. Really can. Here, let's see if I can. I'm gonna upgrade my security spending like all the way up. Oh, now I have a deficit, which means I'm losing money. That's fine. Anyways, you can build infrastructure, which lets your troops move faster through that city and makes your factory and resource output higher. Sonar station lets you see submarines. Shipyards lets you build certain ships and gets more tax income. Shipyard 2 also lets you build certain ships and gets more tax income. Civilian factory makes consumer goods, which just, your stability, it puts your stability all the way up, you know? Ooh, so one thing you can do, I'll actually explain that right now.